Hey y'all, and welcome to Be Find Joy, where we are unapologetically living a joyous life boldly. This is another video for our Money Made Simple budget blueprint course. At the end of this course, it's on YouTube, we will be creating a bold budget. And what is a bold budget? A bold budget is a budget that you believe in, a budget that is objective, a budget that you can leverage, and a budget that you can depend on. All very important things as you create a budget that works for you. In our last video, I'll put it in the description, we talked about the different budget types and the types that will be best for you. We talk about the pros and cons of the most popular budget types. Today, we are going to be talking about how to track your spending. And it's important to track your spending as you build out your budget for a variety of different reasons. And we'll talk about that in a minute. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you want to join the Joy fam, definitely hit that subscribe button, comment, and like. If you want, this workbook is a part of the series. You follow along with me. You can find that on my website at theboldjoyco.com. All the information will be linked down below. Those are the housekeeping rules, things that I wanted to talk about before we dive deep into this video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is we're going to be on page 9 in our Money Made Simple workbook. What we are discussing today is how to track your spending. And it's important to know how to track your spending and how that's going to relate to your budget, because you got to know what you're spending your money on. The first part of this activity talks about income. So your income is the money that is going to be put into your account that you give from your employer, from your job, whether it's part-time, whether it's full-time, whether it's a side hustle. Any money that goes into your account for a job or a product or a service that you have done, that is your income. Now, there are varied incomes. There's incomes that happen and you get an income once a month. There's incomes that happen twice a month. There's incomes that happen every week. It's all varied based on your employee or based on your employer or the way that you have set up your own system for your income. What's going to be really important for you is to see what is your standard income that you know on a monthly basis you will receive based on your job, based on the income that is going to be put into your account. How much is it going to be on a monthly basis? Now, some of you, this might be easy. If you are, you get paid the same amount every week, it's easy for you, or every bi-weekly, it's easy for you to calculate what your income is. If you have a varied income, it's important for you to kind of take what your average is. Bare minimum, you know that at the end of the month, most likely you will get this amount of money. If you get more than that, great. But the best way to start your budget if you are on a varied income is taking, on average, what is the income that you would receive on a monthly basis. A way that you could do that is look at, for your past couple of months, what has your monthly income been? What's kind of your standard pay? And then calculate your income based on that. Now, in regards to your expenses, what I found the easiest way for you to track your expenses, so these are your varied expenses, your fixed expenses, these are your bills, your subscriptions, your fun, your entertainment, your groceries, your gas, anything that you spend money on a weekly, monthly basis, that is going to be your expenses. So you have your income that's coming into your account. Your expenses are what goes out of your account that you pay. So it's important for you to figure out where your money is going. You can't create a budget unless you know where your money is going. You can, but it's not going to be the most effective budget. When I started budgeting in 2016, I randomly was like, where is this? Well, not randomly, but I was like, where is all my money going on a monthly basis? I felt like I had it under control, then I didn't have a control. There were these like unexpected expenses that like really weren't unexpected. I just didn't have control or didn't know where these bills and things were coming from. So I had to get myself organized to figure out where is my money going, and then using that to create a budget that works for me. We'll talk about looking at your expenses and deciding like, is this a need? Is this a want? Do I need this in my budget? Can I get rid of it to help me reach my goals, whether it's savings, whether it's debt? And so it's important for you to do this step first, I would say, when you're creating your budget. So that way you know what is your general, on a month by month, case by case basis, what is your expenses, fixed and variable. So what I'm going to do with you today is I'm going to use my past week's expenses. So what I did is I pulled out my bank statement, and I'm looking at all of the times that something came out of my account. Something was paid. I went to the grocery store, I got gas. And then what I'm going to do is track that. What's recommended is that for you to really understand what your fixed and variable expenses are, is to take your bank stubs, your credit card stubs, any statements that you get, and for 3 months. So we are in January. So December, November, October, and sit down and look at all of your expenses. It's easier for me to write it all out. And to see on a monthly basis, how much am I spending on bills? How much am I spending on my student loans? How much am I spending on credit cards? How much am I spending on groceries? How much am I spending on eating out? And it gives you a standard level, a base of where you can create your budget on. It also will help you to identify, crap, I'm spending a lot of money in this one category, and I might need to reduce that, or I might need to take away cable or take away a subscription, or maybe for the next 6 months I don't do X to save, and then I can reapply that to my budget in the future. So when I did this a couple years ago, it was during COVID, so maybe that probably isn't one of the reasons why, but I wanted to track how much money we were spending on like eating. So groceries, eating out, restaurants, at that point we were getting food delivered to us. We were spending, and at that point there was only my husband and I and my 2-year-old son. We were spending over $1,000 on food throughout the month. There's no reason why a family of two and a half, because my son at that point really wasn't eating like full solid foods. He's a picky eater, so but there's no reason why we were spending that much money on food. And so what I did is created a realistic budget, and every month I worked to get within that budget for my food. When I did that saved up, so I was at like $1,000. I was realistic, and then I'm like, let me just take it to $800. $200 then went towards my goals, went towards savings, went towards my debt payoff. So understanding where you are within your expenses can then help you create and have realistic conversations with yourself, with your partner, with your family, to figure out where you need to be with your budget. So all that's to say, let's get started on the expense tracking for this. I'm just going to do this next week. If you get the book, this workbook, which I highly recommend, you have, I think, like 4 to 5 pages to do your expense tracking. I would recommend do it for December. Is kind of hard because there's always like random expenses that come up because of the holidays and stuff. Even November, I would say like go to October, do maybe September, October, November, and track your expenses for those 3 months and see on average where you are in the different categories. All right, so let's start with mine over here. So what I did is I just went into my bank account, and then you can download the statement. You can create an Excel spreadsheet, whatever's going to work best for you. What I did when I do this, and I do this probably like once every year, once every 2 years, I print it out, and then I have my highlighter. I'm tracking it like on the side, what category it's in, and so that is helpful to me. All right, so we're going to start at January 10th. So that was last Friday. So 1/10. went to the Dollar Tree. I love the Dollar Tree. And I spent $14.13. So we'll talk about the categories in a second. But let's just get through this first page. Well, I guess we could do the categories. So you can create the categories that your expenses will fall into. So what bucket? So for me, my buckets typically are bills, groceries, eating out, personal, miscellaneous, and gas. Those are typically my 6 categories. So for this one, I'm just going to say miscellaneous because I don't really remember what it was. And that's why it's also important to do this like right after you do these things. So that way you remember. So car payment. And it's hard sometimes for like Dollar Tree because sometimes it's for like household stuff. Sometimes it's like toilet paper or stuff like that. Anyway, so our car payment, this is a bill. And then that's $700. All right, so the next one was a Wawa. Now, I don't know if this was my husband. Well, yeah, this was definitely my husband. So it's going to be personal. All right, and actually, you don't have to write down. If it's going to be the same date, you can kind of just draw a line down when you're done. Target, this was me. This was $20.28. And again, Target's hard too because sometimes it's personal and sometimes it's miscellaneous. Sometimes it's for, I probably need to do like a household one category too. I'm just going to keep these right now for personal. Wawa was $25, and this is gonna be gas. Another Wawa, and that was $11.96, and this is gonna be personal. So again, I'm just going through the budget, and Chick-fil-A. And that is definitely my husband. I actually can't eat at Chick-fil-A. I have a nut allergy. And they use peanut oil for their like fries and stuff. So, all right. So that was on the 10th. The next one is the 11th. Something also that you'll notice is like sometimes things come out, like let's say a bill is a recurring bill and it comes out on the 10th. It might not be like postmarked on your bank statement until like the 12th. And so just be mindful of that when you're going through your budget. So this is car wash, and this is a monthly subscription for my husband. And then food, restaurant. Am I gonna spell it right? I feel like that's spelled wrong, but oh well. And this is also why I love these erasable pens. Someone asked me, it's a Fixon .05 pen. That is personal, and it's food. And then food. And this is probably food too. So you can get as detailed as you want with it. Amazon is $41.62. And I have no idea what that is. So I'm just gonna, I can look back, but I don't feel like doing that. But y'all get the gym. So this is my husband's gym membership. So that's a bill because that comes out every month. Apple, this is for like our iCloud, $2.99. So that's a bill. Parking, and that was $5.40, and that was for when I got my hair done. All right. Hair was $40, and that was personal. Giant, and that was $74.92, and that was food. All right, and then another apple, and I believe, I can't remember what this one is, $16.95, but this is a bill. And then BJ's, and that is $30.71. That was food. And then Five Below, that was $4.87, and that was personal. All right, so we finished that. Oh wait, that was actually the wrong day. This was the 13th. All right, so then the 14th was my student loan, and that was $415.05. That was a bill. Okay, so the next one, 115, that was Zoom. That was $16.95. That's a bill. Etsy, that was $2.55. Personal. Ring, that was $21.19, and that's a bill. Michaels, I love Michaels. The problem is that I kind of go haywire in there because I love crafting, and it's just really good for my soul, but it's not necessarily good for my paycheck. I mean, for my bank account. So yeah. Credit card bill, that is $255, and then bill. All right, so for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna stop it here. Now, what I would typically do would go through literally from you can do this on a daily basis, but if you're doing this for previous months, you just literally, first day, start here and go all the way down until the end of the month. So the next thing I would do is then at the bottom or somewhere on my sheet, I would put the categories that I want to track. So bills would be one. Another one is personal, gas, food, miscellaneous, personal, grocery, yeah. Any other ones? Okay, so then I would use a highlighter or something to help me out. Let me go get one. Hold on one second. All right, so I have my highlighters, and then for each one, I would color coordinate it out so that way I know where I need one more. Let's see. All right, food is here. So then I would go in and then color coordinate all of them so that way it's easy for me to track it. So bills. All right, bills is done. Personal. This is group. Well, I'll put all the food together. Food. And you can separate it out for like groceries and eating out, which typically I do, but for right now, we're just gonna leave it together. Leave it all the same. All right, that one's done. Gas is here. Miscellaneous is here. Oop. I think I only have one. And then the last personal. Oh wait, what was I doing? Dag nabbit, I messed up. Personal. What was I doing? Food was supposed to be a different color. Let's see. So food is this one. All right, so then what I do is I'll go in and add up all the numbers. Miscellaneous, so that was $14.13. All right, I have my phone here to calculate it out. All right, so for bills, 1,498.98. So just for what, 5 days? That's a lot of money. It's that car, but it's fine. It is what it is. Personal. All right, so for personal, that was $198.88. Gas was $25, and food was $30.71 plus $74.92. $105.63. So what is this showing me just within the 5 days? So within 5 days, it's showing me that I have a lot of bills. I mean, the most goes to bills, which makes sense. Now, what I would do is look through the bills. Which ones can I maybe get rid of? One of them could be the Zoom. $60.95. I can get rid of the Zoom. That's about it. Personal, $198. Y'all, we're only supposed to be spending like $100 for both of us. So we're at a time where we doubled that. So we can cut back on some of this. And a lot of it is just like, I had a moment and I needed to go do some like craft therapy. And so yeah, that's what happened there. Gas is fine. Food, actually we didn't do too bad on the food. Well, I say that, but then we have like a lot of other food things. And the miscellaneous isn't bad. So what you would do is after you looked at all of your month, you would then determine like what could be a realistic budget based on your income, because you don't want to overspend. You want to have enough money in your account to cover your expenses, your fixed expenses definitely, and then looking at your variable expenses and your goals. How do you use the remaining amount of money to meet those goals? And tracking your expenses is a good way to do it. So let me know if you track your expenses. Let me know how it works out for you. And the next video we are going to be talking about is fixed expenses versus variable expenses. And we're going to be using this expense tracking sheet to then identify which categories it fits under. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and comment. The goal is that by the end of this course, you are going to create a bold budget, a budget that you believe in, budget that is objective, and a budget that you can leverage and is dependable. And we're about to make this happen. Stick around. We are continuing on this course, and I will see you in the next video. See ya. Bye-bye.